Still need a haircut. And hey, how are you guys doing today? It's been a minute. Oh, well, not a minute. I uploaded a video last week. This week I've been today's Thursday. I've been really all over the place. It just hasn't been a good week. Um, and yeah, sorry I wasn't able to get too many videos out this week. Or at least I'm gonna try to get a few, or this one out tomorrow on Friday, and another one out on Friday. Which is like a gaming one. It's like me just basically doing this, but on Minecraft instead. Um, and I'm basically going to talk about almost the same things I'm going to talk about this video, just in a better state of mind. Because when I recorded that video, I was a bit more sad and stuff. Um, so yeah, let's get right into the video. Also, before I get into the video, I'm gonna just like tell you guys next week I'll do better. Next week I'll make sure to actually upload correctly. Try to get 2 videos out. One on the main channel early in the week, and then one on the main channel later in the week. One on the gaming channel early in the week, and then maybe one or two more on the gaming channel later in the week. Because I do have a lot of stuff prepared for the gaming channel. It's just this week I wasted a lot of time and I just wasn't in the right state of mind to edit. So yeah. Today's video, I want to talk about more of a serious topic, and it's disconnection, right? It's something that I've actually not talked about before, I don't think, because I'm always talking about making connections. And I think maybe I've mentioned cutting off bad things from your life, but I've never talked about disconnection, specifically with people, right? Because sometimes in your life, you never imagine that the people you know today are not going to be there for you tomorrow, right? Now, that could, mean many things, God forbid anyone pass away, but it hurts when people that you know and thought of as friends and thought highly of just suddenly aren't there for you anymore. Um, you know, they leave, and no matter the reason, that's always gonna hurt, right? Especially if you have a connection or had a connection with that person, it's always gonna hurt, and that's something that I don't think I've ever talked about. So that's this video's topic, because it is something I'm currently going through right now. I've always mentioned being lonely or not really having people to talk about with these things, but this week has been a very hard week. I've been very sad, all over the place, depressed, because I don't want to say too much, but um, let's just say I lost someone close to me. Not death. Thank the Lord, nobody died. It's nothing like that. But I still lost them in another way, right? This person decided it'd be best if we weren't friends anymore. If we just did our own thing for a while. This person goes their way, I go my way. And I agreed because, I really love that person, and I think that person deserves the world. So I'm really happy that they're, striving for better things, and whether that means I'm there or not, God has plans for that person that I don't know about. God has plans for me that I don't know about. So whatever he thinks is best will happen, right? So I really do hope that this, is good for the both of us. But at first it hurts. For the first day, for the first few days, for the first week, maybe even for a little longer, it's gonna hurt. And it's something I thought about a lot, right? Because it does hurt. And you don't even know what to think. It throws everything off. your schedule, everything. I don't know. It depends on the person, but for me, it threw everything off because I was already struggling with things, and this suddenly just hits like a truck full of bricks. That was a nasty rhyme right there, but yeah, and it wasn't good, you know. Um, this was someone very close to me, someone I've known for quite some time, and for our friendship, I guess, to end this way, I just never expected that, you know. The Bible tells us that some things are seasonal, right? Not everything lasts forever, and that includes friendships, relationships, all those things, you know. And that is kind of scary sometimes. Again, like I said, someone who's been there for a very long time, who you think is going to be with you through the entire journey, suddenly leaves. You know, sometimes it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's just distance put between you, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and before you know it, you're two different people doing two different things. And sometimes it happens because of you. Sometimes it happens because you two decided it'd be best if you're no longer in each other's lives. And that's the one that hurts a lot more. Um, you know, I would say and give you guys advice, you know, try to be in your friends' lives. You know, try to give them a call, try to talk to them, you know, check in on them. Don't let distance ever tear your connections, right? But there are seasons for everything in life. And a quote I once heard, it's a very good quote that has stuck with me. It's, sometimes you may be on the same train as someone, but you're not going to leave at the same station. You're not going to leave at the same stop. You know, sometimes you'll be on the same train as someone, but you don't have the same destination as them. You know, maybe your destination is to stay on the train for a bit longer, and it'll take you there. That's what you're supposed to do. And maybe that person that was there on the train with you was only supposed to be there for a few stops, and then they leave because their path is different than yours. That's something that we often forget, is that everyone has a different path. Sometimes it can be similar to ours, but everyone has a different one. And sometimes you're only supposed to be there to give them a lesson, to help guide them, you know, or give them what God thinks they need in that season. Friendship, you know, whatever, like companionship, whatever God thinks they need that you can give them during that season, then you can. But then after that, they're gone. And yeah, that sucks. It does. But it's love itself is something that is not about possession, you know. It's about being able to let go when the time is right. Real love for someone, you're not supposed to just hold them forever, right? That's obsession, and that's not healthy for you or that person. Love is about letting go whenever you're supposed to, right? And accepting that this person will be better off without you, even though those selfish desires, even though those feelings in your heart, you might say, no, this person needs me. But at the end, it's more you that needs that person. And if you need someone that bad, it should always be God, right? You should never put any person on earth above God. And in seasons like this, where we feel alone, where, you know, someone has left us, where maybe you lost a friend, a family member, you need to go to God. And that's always so much easier said than done. Believe me, I know. But you have to keep trying. And I'm even talking to myself a bit here, but you have to keep going. Every day, you know. I also heard this quote from a friend who told me recently, you might not be able to give 100% every day, but you have to give what you have that day at least. You know, some days you might be tired, you might only be able to give 50%, or some other days you might only be able to give 80, some other days you might only be able to give 5. but try to give everything you have on that day, because each day is so precious. And you know, being young is such a good thing. I feel like sometimes I'm scared that I'm wasting away my years, because I'm 19 and I'm turning 20 in a few months, and I don't want to waste away my younger days. You know, I want to be happy. I want to have fun, but I also want these days to have meaning. I want to be able to grow, and I want to be able to live a good life, right? And the lessons that I'm passing along to you guys, were all passed down to me as well. I didn't create any of this. These are all things that I've heard from other people, things that I've heard from my Bible, things that I'm just trying to pass along to anyone who's willing to watch these videos. Yeah, I wasn't planning on recording this video today. I'm gonna be honest, today was a very non-productive day. I got home from work at like 9 in the morning, and I was like, oh, let me just take a nap, sleep 1 or 2 hours. I ended up sleeping the entire day. I woke up at like 5 or 6 p.m. and I was planning on recording this video earlier during the day, and reading my Bible earlier during the day, and editing the Persona 3 Reload finale that I've been trying to do for a while. And I have a lot of footage to edit, and I haven't even started it yet. But today was going to be a peak time for me to do it, but I can't. And I don't think I'm going to be able to this weekend as well, because I'm not going to be here this weekend. So, oh well, I'm going to try to get this out for you guys in one more little video. And I hope this helped. It definitely helped me a little bit. So I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, and I'm gonna choose to try and do better. I'm gonna wake up the next day and keep choosing to try and do better. And trying is all that matters. As long as you're trying your hardest, then it'll all mean something. It's all worth something. So yeah. Love you guys. I also need to get started on that little project. I don't know if I think I did mention this in the channel. Before I turn 20, I want to make like a little mini movie of just the moments before I turn 20. Like I'm gonna have lots of clips from this year, but I might even look for some stuff from the years prior when I was 18, 17, 16, and yeah. Cool. God bless. Love you guys, and see you guys next week, hopefully. But yeah, see you around.